Okay, so this is the created compelling copy bonus, and that means you've made it through the first 7 modules where we've laid all of the groundwork for all of this to be able to get to the point of creating copy. And what we're going to do here is utilize some of the skills that we've been learning and create some building blocks on which to create your message. So, creating compelling copy is built around a variety of different things. And what I'm going to share with you here are just a couple of models that'll be able to give you a structure for creating your copy and doing it in a way that's compelling. The first approach we're going to look at is called the Features, Advantages, Benefits model. And what it does is essentially takes into consideration that we have either features, advantages, or benefits where any product or service is concerned. And we have to get clear on what each of those are. And so this is our starting point. And for this, I'm just going to give you some direct over-the-shoulder coaching as I go through the PDF with you. So I'm presuming that you have printed that out and have it there with you. If you have not done that, go ahead, pause the program here and print that out because there's going to be some stuff to fill in coming up really quick here. So features. We're going to start with features. Features are one of the easiest things to identify. These are the facts or characteristics about your business products or services. For example, a 1-inch insulation layer on a sleeping bag is one of its features. Advantages. Advantages are what the features do. And they tend to be factual and they aren't connected to a prospect's needs. Yet, for example, helps retain body heat on cold nights. Sticking with our sleeping bag example, the fact that it has 1 insulation helps retain body heat on cold nights. That's an advantage of having that 1-inch layer of insulation. And so again, advantages are statements about what the features do. And then benefits are the answers to why someone should value the advantages. And it connects the facts about your product to a solution for your client. Benefits explain why the advantage is important to the client's future. And benefits are big. Benefits are life or lifestyle desires. Benefits usually relate to comfort, safety, security, privacy, health, peace of mind, or protection. And I'm hoping that you're understanding what kinds of words those are right there where creating copy and understanding language is concerned, because we've been talking about that quite a bit. So that's usually what benefits revolve around, is those big life things. And so what is FAB? Well, FAB is an acronym for Feature Advantage Benefit, or the Feature Advantage Benefit model is known as the FAB model. And this is an old model for building sales presentations. In recent years, it's been explored further and expanded upon. I've taught this concept to thousands of people over years and years, and I have also added to the model to create some highly effective means for building copy that you can use in just about anything. As you can see here, the best way to map this out is to do it in a matrix. And so I've created an example matrix of a FAB model here for the Happy Tummy product that we've been looking at as we've been going through the training. And so we've got over here listed in the far left column all of its features, in the center column all of its advantages, and in the far right column all of the benefits. And so if we look, we've got the features listed here that I came up with are soft fabric, it's got a calming scent, it's washable, all natural, reusable, fast acting, and external, which means there's nothing to ingest. The advantage of the soft fabric is that it won't irritate sensitive skin. The advantage of a calming scent is that it relaxes the baby and the mother. Advantage of washability is that it stays clean and germ-free, and so on as you go through the matrix. And now you get over to the benefits, and you can see that the soft fabric, the advantage of which is that it won't irritate sensitive skin. The benefit is that it's safe to use for newborn baby skin. Safe to use for newborns. This is a big thing. This is a life thing, like I was talking about. Benefits are big things. So, calming scent. It relaxes mother and baby, which the benefit of which is that it stops the baby crying faster, which is what all of these parents want. Any parent caregiver that's got a distressed baby, what they want more than anything is for that baby to stop crying faster. The fact that it's washable and stays clean and germ-free, the benefit of that is the protection from illness from a baby's weaker immune system. So these benefits are big things. So take a minute and go through those so that you get an understanding of it, and just review them and get a sense for how they work together. Again, features are basically facts about the product, as you can see listed here. The advantages are statements about what the features do, and the benefits are those big life things that people want and are concerned with. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, and we see that we've got here a FAB Matrix Worksheet. And this FAB Matrix Worksheet is for you to complete and get you to list 10 features, advantages, and benefits for your product or service. And if you have multiple products, focus on building your message just on one product right now and complete the entire process for one product before you address any additional ones. So take a minute now and pause the program here, and I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. I've already filled out the first one for you here with the features, advantages, and benefits that I included on the Happy Tummy matrix up above. So go ahead and pause the program here and complete that exercise, and I'll see you back here when you get back. Should have fun doing this. Should only take a few minutes, and it's going to be something that you're really going to get a lot of benefit from as we continue to use this information to build upon. So go ahead and tackle that now, and I'll be here when you get back. Okay, so welcome back, and I'm welcoming you back from having created your FAB Matrix Worksheet. Now, this is something that few people have done for their business, and it's really a useful exercise because it helps get you clear on a lot of things that may have become apparent to you as you went ahead and went through the exercise. So now that you've got your 10 features, advantages, and benefits listed, we're going to go ahead and continue on, and I'm going to move to the next page, which is FAB Application Models. And this is the compelling copy bonus, model number 1. And it basically plays out like this. In order to create compelling copy, all you need to do is take a feature, add what's called a bridge, put your advantage, add what's called a bridge, and put a benefit. And you have compelling copy. Now, what's a bridge, you might ask? Well, our next area here actually addresses that. And a bridge is just like what it looks like here. It connects two things together. And so the examples I've got down here of bridge examples are, what that means is, best of all, simply stated, there's no doubt that, all that plus, so remember, here's why, and that's important because. Now, these are all bridges. These are just phrases that, and bridge is my own terminology. It's something that I came up with a long time ago when I was trying to explain to people how to continue answering questions with questions, which is another subject altogether. But bridges are basically just short phrases that bring together parts of speech. And I'll give you a quick example of how this feature bridge, advantage bridge, benefit model works with the Happy Tummy, just because the features that we just looked at, first feature was soft fabric. So it's got soft fabric, which means that, or what that means is, it won't irritate sensitive skin. So remember, now the benefit, it's safe to use for newborn babies. And it's as simple as that. Now, you can take that entire matrix that you just did and combine them together using these bridges, and you're going to have very compelling copy. In fact, this is a great way to create an elevator pitch even too, because it's feature, here's what it does, bridge, which means that, or all that, you know, best of all, simply stated, and then the advantage, then another bridge, and then the benefit. Very compelling for an elevator pitch. So that's one way you can use it as well. Compelling copy model number 2, and that's to use the completed FAB matrix you just finished to make a towards or away from message. And so we're going to do that using these bridges and the statements that you've got in your FAB matrix. And we're going to create a toward message, which is driving someone towards pleasure. And we're going to create an away from message, which means we're going to try and move them away from pain. And so this is, again, a complex subject, but basically people are motivated by one of two things: their desire to gain pleasure and move towards pleasure, or their desire to avoid pain. Now, if you look at advertising historically, it's been shown that people will do infinitely more to avoid pain than they ever will to gain pleasure. And so that's as far as I'm going to go into that right now, but just know that you can either frame your message in a toward or away from manner. I know that the founder of Happy Tummy favors having a toward feel-good message, and so this would be a way of structuring that you could use to apply that thinking and create a toward message using what we've been talking about here. And so Happy Tummy features a cuddly, soft waistband that won't irritate sensitive, developing skin, which means that you can take comfort in knowing that it's safe to use even for newborns. Now, that's just using the FAB statements tied together with the bridges that we looked at, and you've got a compelling toward message. Again, it's Happy Tummy features a soft, cuddly waistband that won't irritate sensitive developing skin, which means you can take comfort in knowing that it's safe to use even for newborns. Now, same thing with an away from message. Happy Tummy is an external remedy, so you never have to struggle with trying to get your baby to swallow drops or syrup, which actually causes even more stress for both you and the baby. Translation, with Happy Tummy, you instantly reduce everyone's stress, not elevate it. No other product can give you this instant peace of mind. So there we're giving them pain to move away from. We're explaining that they don't have to do this or that. There is a better alternative, and that better alternative in this case is our product. So that's pretty good, compelling copy, wouldn't you agree? And it's pretty simple to put it together based on what you just did with that FAB worksheet and combining them together and creating those models using bridges. So now that's good, but we can make it even better. And there's another step that we have to complete before you have really the perfect marketing message, and that's to flip the FAB statements around. So instead of stating the feature first, state the benefit. Then explain how you accomplish the benefit via your advantage and feature. So, for example, our final marketing message for Happy Tummy could read, on the toward side, Happy Tummy. You can take comfort in knowing that it's safe to use even for newborns because it features a cuddly, soft waistband that won't irritate sensitive developing skin. Wow, that sounds really good. So, on the away from side, with Happy Tummy, you instantly reduce your baby's stress. No other product can give you this instant peace of mind. This is true because Happy Tummy is an external remedy. Any other product requires you to first make your baby even more stressed by forcing her to swallow something unpleasant while she's screaming in discomfort. Wow, again, really compelling copy and a strong message. Now, some people, again, might want to favor the towards side of that message. Some people might lean towards the away from side. That's a matter of personal preference. All I can do is illustrate that these are models that exist and give you the opportunity to put them to work the way that you feel best fits for you and your business. So, compelling copy model number 3. What we're going to do here is first take all of the benefits from the right column and list them separately as shown here. So for Happy Tummy, our benefits are safe to use for newborn baby skin, on down to reduces the baby's stress, administration of oral alternatives, elevates the trauma of our already distressed babies. So what you're going to do is go into your printed guide and go ahead and make a list of your benefits there in the 1 through 10, and go ahead and do that and pause the program now. Come back and I'll be waiting for you with the next section. Do that now. Okay, welcome back. And so now what we're going to do is establish what all of those things that you just listed contribute to. In other words, what does possessing all of those benefits create on a larger scale? If I had all of those benefits, I would have X, is another way to look at this. So that answer is your bigger picture. And what we're going to do here is get clear on your bigger picture. And so what that means is we're going to look at what is a bigger picture, first of all. And again, going back to the description above, it's if I had all of those benefits, I would have what? Is the question you want to ask yourself. So you take a look at your benefits list and you say, well, if I had all of those, that would mean I'd have what? And this is a big picture thing. It's a life kind of thing. So what's a bigger picture? Well, at a quick glance for the Happy Tummy list, I've settled on this for the bigger picture. Having a healthy, happy baby. That's the bigger picture. Because if you had all of the things listed in those benefits, you would have a healthy, happy baby. And so the question to ask yourself is, what do all of these benefits contribute to? What do they support your consumers with? And you want to look at this on the largest scale. So in the grand scheme of things, if all of my benefits were in place for all of my consumers, what they would have is X. And that's what you want your bigger picture to be. At the end of the day is another way of saying the same thing. When it's all said and done, here's what that means to them by having all of those benefits in place. So review your benefits list that you just created and define your bigger picture. Go ahead and do that now. Pause the program. And then once you're done with that, before you continue in the workbook, come back and press play on the video. And I'll be waiting and see you here. Okay, welcome back to the compelling copy bonus. This is the final exercise. And I kind of grouped this in at this point because when I do my live events and when I've trained this in the past, this is typically the point at which I would do this. So since you're already here, I figured I would group it into this process. It's not really about creating your compelling copy at this point, as we've done with your FAB words, etc. This exercise is about defining one critical element, and that one critical element is going to be something that we continue to work with as we move through the rest of the program. And so with happy tummy, the bigger picture is having a healthy, happy baby. And what you want to do at this point is take your bigger picture that you just created, and now you want to establish a one-word definition that is critical to your bigger picture. In other words, what is absolutely necessary for, in this case, having a healthy, happy baby? And you can go about doing this in a couple of different ways. You can ask yourself, first of all, what does a baby need to be healthy and happy? Another way that you can go about it is to go back to your FAB list and look at your FAB list and notice the things that you put in there, and then take single words out of your FAB list and then make a list like what I've done here. And so when I look at the happy tummy list, I see references to things about being safe for your baby and relaxing both the baby and caregiver and things like that. So I can take being safe to be safety. I can take the fact that it relaxes to be relaxation. And so what you want to do is just go through and make a group of words that define your FAB list. Go from the features, advantages, and benefits and just pull out words and then make a list of them here in your workbook where I've provided the space for. And you could go on, you could create more than that. It's not at all necessary that you do that. All you need to do is just gather a few right here and go ahead and do that now. Pause the program, review your FAB list, and once you get done, come back, push play, and I'll be waiting for you. Okay, well, welcome back. And now it's time to get really excited because this is where things really start to move and shake. This is the point where we come now to the big question. And the big question is going to be a defining element in creating your overall marketing message and the way you engage with the public and a whole bunch of other things. So I want you to get excited at this point. This is the point at which all of the work that you've been doing starts to come together in a way that's going to be really unique. And it's all going to come down to this question. So look at your list and read it out loud and take a minute and reflect after you've read it, and then ask yourself the following question. What do all of those things share in common that my product or service provides? The first word that comes into your mind is usually your best answer. And that answer is what I call your critical element. Now, when I look at the list of words for happy tummy and I ask myself that question, these words right here, safety, relaxation, protection from illness, natural development, delicate system, softness, stress relief, all of those words, when I look at those words and I ask myself, what do all of those things share in common that this product provides? The one word that comes to my mind is comfort. And so comfort becomes my critical element. That's the one word answer to this question for that list and that product. The one word that it all comes down to is comfort. And I told you this was really going to be fun and unique in a really special way. And that's this. We're bringing everything down to a single word. So take a minute, look at your list, go over it, review it, ask yourself the question, what do all of those things share in common that your product or service provides? Again, with the happy tummy marketing message that we're creating here, and again, I want to reiterate, this is not a campaign that I'm putting together for Happy Tummy. This is just an example that I'm using because I'm connected with the company. So I want to make that disclaimer utterly clear. However, if I was to go through and craft an entire message, a packaging campaign, and do all of the things that I'm doing for this process, I would do two different things. One is I would be getting paid a lot of money. The other is I would refine a lot of these elements as I'm going through, because these are just things that I'm coming up with, grabbing a piece of clip art that's quick, easy, and a basketball, for example, or a bee. Those are just things that I grab in order to be able to illustrate a point really quick and really easily. So review your list of words, come up with the critical element for your product or service, and write it in the space provided below where it says your critical element is, and put it there. And I want you to get really excited about this process. And if you've already got your critical element, well, congratulations. If you don't, you can pause the program here, go ahead and complete that. I'll leave you with a couple of final thoughts though. One is this: your critical element can be more than one word, but it cannot be more than one benefit or action. So an example of that would be this: parental awareness as a critical element would be okay, but awareness and security is not. Those are two different things, and that's not a critical element. Those are critical elements. If they're going to fall into that, that's a plural. And so parental awareness is two words describing something, and that's okay if you need to do that. Ideally, you'd want one word, but if you have to put two, that's fine. You just want to make sure they're not two different things. Secondly, you can have more than one critical element. However, it's most desirable that you have only one, and almost never more than two. And we'll explore this in a little more detail as I continue into the next module. But to wrap up this compelling copy bonus section, I want you to make sure that you've defined your critical element, and then once you've completed that, you've written it in the space provided in the bonus workbook there. Go ahead and go back to the main training workbook guide and continue with the next video in the sequence, and I will see you there.